1. Calm when others expect chaos. True strength isn't loud, doesn't yell, it doesn't break things, it watches. When the world is falling apart and everyone expects you to snap, the most powerful thing you can do is stay composed. Don't panic, not because you're numb, but because you've trained your mind to stand still in storms. The Stoics believe that your reaction, not the situation, determines your peace. When you choose calm over chaos, people don't see weakness, they see danger. Why? Because the man who doesn't react cannot be controlled. 2. Emotional discipline. You don't just feel emotions, you study them, contain them, and then decide how to act. This kind of discipline turns you into something rare. While others react without thinking, you respond with intention. Your silence during conflict, your stillness under pressure, sends a signal. You are not ruled by impulse, you're led by principle that unsettles people because they can't predict or manipulate someone who governs himself. 3. Walking. Away without a word, most people argue to prove their worth. You don't. You leave. Quietly. Powerfully. Not because you don't care, because you value your peace more than pointless battles. When you can walk away from disrespect, drama, and distraction, without a scene, without regret, you become untouchable. Not by running, but by rising. You choose clarity over chaos. That speaks louder than confrontation ever could. For silence has strength in a world obsessed with being seen. The man who thrives in silence is dangerous in the best way. You're not seeking applause, you're building in the shadows. You don't need to announce your every move because your results speak for you. Quiet consistency beats loud bursts of noise. And when the time comes, your presence hits harder than 1,000 words. People don't see you coming, and that's the point. Point 5. Purpose without performance. You're not here to impress. You're here to fulfill something deeper. A calling that doesn't need an audience. That purpose fuels you through rejection, setbacks, and long nights. And because it's real, it doesn't fade when no one's watching. Men like you don't chase trends. You follow your own code. And that code keeps you grounded, focused, and powerful, with or without validation. 6. Detachment from approval, the need to be liked. You've burned it away. Your direction doesn't depend on opinions or applause. It's a rare mindset and it makes you magnetic. Because people feel it and you're not desperate for their acceptance.
Okay, let's go.
You're not to please you. Act from principle. You don't wait for permission, you lead with conviction. That makes you hard to influence, and even harder to stop. 7. Inner mastery over outer image. Real danger isn't in appearance, it's in control. You don't need to look tough, you need to be solid. When you master your inner world, your outer world starts to bend, and people sense it. You walk differently, you speak with purpose, you don't waste words or energy. And that kind of mastery is what separates performers from powerhouses. 8. Daily discipline. Not occasional motivation. You weren't born with this mindset. You built it. Day by day, sacrificing comfort, choosing focus, bleeding in practice so you never break under pressure. The man you are now is the result of everything you endured silently. No shortcuts. No applause. Just discipline. This is what makes you unshakable. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. 1. Calm when others expect chaos. 400 words. There's a certain kind of power that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't raise its voice, doesn't demand attention. It just is calm, grounded, and unshaken. That's the kind of power most people never understand, because the world teaches us to react. To shout when we're angry, to panic when we're threatened, to collapse when pressure builds. But the man who remains calm when everything around him is screaming, that man is dangerous. Not dangerous in a violent or aggressive way. Dangerous in the sense that he's in complete control. While others are ruled by emotion, he's ruled by principle. While others lose themselves in the chaos, he becomes even more clear. That kind of clarity scares people because it cannot be manipulated. Calmness under pressure isn't passivity. It's mastery. It means you've trained your mind to resist the urge to react. You've studied yourself. You've confronted your fears in silence. And now, when life tries to shake you, it finds no handle to grab. That's not natural. It's earned. Marcus Aurelius once said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That quote holds the secret. It's not the event that breaks you, it's your reaction to it. And the moment you realize that, you become unstoppable. People expect chaos to infect your mind. They expect you to panic, to lash out, to lose your center. But when your eyes stay focused, your tone remains calm, and your actions stay deliberate, you rattle something deep within them, because they realize you're not playing the same game. A man who stays calm in crisis is a man who has already won an internal war. He's seen fear. He's walked through fire.
Okay,
and instead of yelling back, he learned to breathe. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. It's strength in its purest form. And in a world addicted to noise, stillness becomes the loudest statement. You can make two. The power to walk away without explanation. 400 words. Most people are trapped. Trapped in arguments, trapped in toxic cycles, trapped in the endless need to be understood, validated, accepted. But there's a rare kind of man, the one who knows when to walk away, not in anger, not to prove a point, simply because his peace is worth more than his presence. There is no greater power than knowing you do not owe your energy to everything that demands it. When someone disrespects you, tries to bait you, or pull you into drama, you don't bite. You don't respond. You don't explain. You leave. Quietly with discipline. That is strength in its most refined form. This kind of detachment is not coldness. It's clarity. You know your value. You've spent time alone. You've learned to be at peace in silence. You've faced your own darkness and made peace with it. So now, when others try to pull you into theirs, you simply decline. Seneca said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." That includes the power to walk away from chaos, from disrespect, from anything that breaks your focus or poisons your spirit. You don't need to yell. You don't need to explain. Your silence is your message. We live in a world where people stay just to be seen, just to prove they're strong enough to handle disrespect. But real strength isn't staying where your peace dies. It's having the discipline to leave and never look back. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. And when you do this, when you walk away with calm, not rage, you become something few understand. You become the man who cannot be manipulated by guilt, by begging, or by threats, because you've already trained your soul not to crave what can be taken away. You don't slam doors. You don't burn bridges. You simply remove yourself, like a shadow disappearing at dusk. And in your absence, your presence echoes louder than anything you could have said. That's real power. That's what makes you untouchable. Because a man who walks away without needing to explain himself is a man who has already chosen freedom over noise and peace over pride.